Alright guys, Hayzink here, welcome back to the channel for another Street Fighter Duel video. So we have obviously had the new update rolling out, and the first thing I always do when the new update rolls out is I bring you the trial guides, and I'm going to be doing that right now. But there's going to be another video immediately following this going over that new soul system that's been added to the game, the soul fighter system. I advise you to watch that video because it's probably, in one hand, not going to shock you, but in the other hand, it probably will shock you depending on what way you play this game. So make sure you check out that following video. But for now, let's jump into this trial guide. It's already been recorded. We'll go through the teams, right? So, trial guides are always something that I like to put out. I guess at this point it's almost what my channel's known for. We have now found out that your mileage can vary on these things because power levels can differ slightly, but these teams should get you through it. Now, we are going to do a breakdown of Goken in another video, right? But they have done exactly what I expected them to do. I think other people didn't expect them to do this because in other previews, I saw people still expecting them to stay a trigger character. He's not a trigger character anymore, okay? Now, some of you might think that that makes him less broken. I disagree. Allow me to explain why. Trigger characters have one fatal flaw, in my opinion. You can only use one of them, right? So if you made Goken a trigger character, he would not be able to work alongside some of the more powerful characters in the game, meaning you're limiting his usage, meaning you're limiting his desirability. So by making him not be a trigger character, you're actually opening him up to far more people summoning. So I actually think what they've done is they've worked that out finally, and they've actually played this one pretty smart from a financial point of view, and they know they'll get more summons with him not being a trigger character. So, right on that one. Anyway, let's jump in and we'll have a look at fight number 2. So yeah, anyway, with this one, I went with Zangief, because there's no way to get speed really, and Zangief will keep you going, and as well as that, if you use his control combo, he does a lot for you. So yeah, Zangief was the one I went with on this one. I've tried my best to show the combos a little bit longer when I remember. To be honest, I don't think I remember to do that for every single fight. Yeah. My thoughts on Goken so far, just from using them in the trial. He is a sustain monster. He is what I expected him to be. He is going to keep your team alive long past the point that they should be alive, right? I mean, it's crazy how much damage you can now take with this guy in your team, right? 100%. And with the fact that we've moved to like 3 team setups and stuff like that, you are going to see a big difference in what you can push content-wise, especially with multiple teams needed in story mode and stuff like that. You're probably going to find that you can go a lot further, right? So that's good, I suppose. Yeah, that's good. But at the end of the day, am I still going to wait to summon this guy? Yes. Do I want to summon him right now? Yes. Am I going to wait? Yes, because there could be pity coming along. Now, the only thing I'll say about this whole pity situation, and I have mentioned this in another video, right, a while ago. I have a little fear, especially if you're holding on to these tickets for the turtles, right? I have one little fear, and that is that when they see everyone is stacked with tickets, they might decide they're going to go with a different currency, right? If they do that, I honestly believe that's always what they were going to do, right? It's a convenient excuse for them, right? Because, you know what? There's players that have been listening to that advice long before I started pushing that advice out, right? There's been players that have been sitting on tickets, building up stashes of tickets, and they summon when they feel like summoning, right? It's a bit like the pity situation. They were always going to remove pity. According to them, they never had it in the game to begin with, right? But we know from the files, it's there, but it's like 250 summons or something like that. People latched on to the fact that I made the video and they blamed me for there being no pity. If they hadn't used summoning and they say, and the excuse rolls out is because too many people had tickets, then if they blame me for that one as well, then fantastic, that'll be awesome. But it just seems like a convenient thing. With a lot of people sitting on tickets, maybe that is where they might go. I'm not saying that's what's going to happen, right? I'm not. And at the end of the day, if you save your tickets till the turtles and it turns out the turtles have got special summoning, then all you've done is you've waited 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks, and then you summon Goken. That's it. Worst case scenario, right? But while I would like to think that they wouldn't be that stupid and that dumb, when you watch my next video, unfortunately the dumb mindset is still here, because the fighting soul system is totally not what you think it is. It's actually pretty insane what they've decided to do, and to be honest, I'm getting to the point with this game now where I'm thinking, what is the next bad decision they could make? That's what they're probably going to do. So when it comes to predicting what to expect from this game in the future, while some people might think it's negative, I think the best course of action is just literally to think of what is the worst possible choice they could make. That is the choice they're going to make, right? So anyway, I'm giving you some spoilers for the next video, but you'll need to make sure and watch it, because it should be an interesting one, let's just say that. I've recorded the footage, I've not narrated what I'm going to say yet. I'm formulating that in my head right now as we're going through this. But yeah, you can, I mean, if you've been paying attention to what's going on behind the screen as I'm speaking, you'll notice that no one is really dying. And when people do die, they're dying way later than they should die. And they're reviving, they're getting shields. Goken is pretty busted, right? You can already tell Goken's pretty busted, because if he's keeping your main characters, your power users, your good characters in the fight, he's doing his job, right? He's absolutely doing his job. And you'll notice that with a lot of these fights, I didn't even use his C1. His super combo. I used the C1, sometimes I just used the C2. To be honest, that was more for experimentation rather than anything else, because I just really wanted to see if just simply having this guy on your team, just via his passive, was going to do a lot for you. And the simple answer to that was yes, it most certainly is. And while that is a sign of a good character who can just passively do things on your team, it is also the sign of a pretty broken character, right? I think the closest fight, although I can't remember it right now, was the one with Bison, where they were reviving, doing that whole revival standoff thing, but Goken came through clutch and he was the one that won, basically. So is he a broken character? I think right now I'm probably going to say yes, but again, until we go and look at his kit fully, we'll see how much of my predictions I got right. Obviously him not being a trigger character was one that I got right, but I just need to see how they've cranked up his numbers to see where he sits with regards to DPS levels and stuff like that. So anyway, that's your trial done. Some of the levels might have been harder for some people, but overall pretty easy. I've been Hayzink, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.